Welcome to our MKD education. I am your physics expert Swapna Rautrai. Today we will study about the next topic related to gravitation. In the last class we have studied about gravitational constant, Newton's law of gravitation, the law, the force between the two masses and acceleration due to gravity. In this topic we will read the topic related to acceleration due to gravity, mass, weight of the body, how it is affected, and Kepler's law derived for orbits and planets. The basic purpose of our studying this topic is how the body is affected due to the distance between the two bodies. The acceleration due to gravity is affected due to the distance between the two bodies. How it is getting affected. Why the weight of the body becomes zero but not the mass. All this we are going to study in this topic. The main purpose of this topic. So friends, if the distance is changing, how the gravity is going to change? If we are moving in the upward direction or downward direction, if the weight is going to change or mass is going to change, to deal with this, let us understand initially the mass and weight. What is mass and what is weight? Mass is a scalar quantity and weight is a vector quantity. Since mass is a scalar quantity, it will not change with time. It is going to be same. But the weight of the body will change because it depends upon the gravity, acceleration due to gravity. Mass cannot be zero, but weight can be equals to zero because you can see mass is denoted by m, but weight of the body, the formula for the weight of the body is mg. Since mass is constant, it is not going to change with time. G is changing. The unit for weight is Newton. So let us understand why weight is changing. Weight is changing because of G, and how G is changing. Let us understand how G is changing with altitude, depth and all. Why the G is changing? Let us derive the formula. What do you understand by altitude? Altitude means changing height. Altitude means height. So let us consider Earth of mass m, radius is r. Initially we have derived the formula when the body is placed on the surface of the Earth. Now let us the body is placed here. For this we have already derived the mass of the body. Let the mass of the body is m. This is position A. Let us move this mass from position A to B. Okay. Let this height be h. Let us calculate acceleration due to gravity at position A, that is on the surface of the Earth. So G will be equals to Gm upon r square, where r is the distance between the two bodies. Now let us calculate acceleration due to gravity when the bodies move to position B. So G will be equals to Gm upon r. The distance is nothing but this is O, from O to B. So what is the total distance? R plus h whole square. This is equation 1 and equation 2. Let us equate equation 1 and 2. From 1 and 2, let us here the acceleration gravity is g, and here let the new acceleration gravity is g dash. So let us this be g dash. So from 1 and 2, let us take the ratio. So g dash upon g is equals to Gm upon r plus h whole square. divided by g upon r square. Common terms get cancelled out. So g dash upon g is nothing but r square upon r plus h whole square. So now you can write down g dash upon g is nothing but r square upon r plus h whole square. If you take out r square common, this will be 1 plus h upon r whole square. R square from the down we have taken out and r square get cancelled. So this can be written as 1 plus h upon r minus 2. Here we will use binomial theorem. By using binomial theorem, what is the formula? 1 plus x to the power n can be written as 1 plus nx plus n minus 1 by 2 factorial x square plus so on. But we will not consider the further values because the x is very small, h upon r, where h is very smaller than r. So only we will consider this part, 1 plus nx. So what is n? n is minus 2. So we can write down 1 minus 2h upon r. So g dash will be equals to 1 minus 2h upon r into g. If you can write, if we want to calculate weight will be mass. So g dash equals to 1 minus 2h upon r into g. So if we write out the formula further, so g minus g dash is equals to 2h upon r into g. So you can see that the change in gravity is directly proportional to h. That means if the height is increasing, gravity will be decreased. So it is affected by g. So if gravity is decreasing, the weight of the body will be also decreased, because what is the formula of weight of the body? Weight is equals to mg. So it will change with change in altitude. Next, let us now consider for depth. If the body is moving towards the center of the earth. Let us consider earth of mass m and radius r. This is the position A, O. Now we are taking variation of g with depth. That means the mass m will be moved towards the center. So let us the body is moved to this position B. Okay. Let us imagine an imaginary sphere. Since the body is moving to position B, the volume of the body is changing. Let this is V and this is, for the new one, it is V dash. And the inner mass will be M dash. So the acceleration due to gravity at position A will be G equals to Gm upon R square. Let us this distance travel depth is small d. For position B, the new gravity is G dash will be equals to G m dash upon, it is moved to a new distance. What is the distance now? R minus D. In this topic we will deal with density. Density of a body will always remain same because the mass is changing, volume is changing, but the ratio remains same. So what is the formula for density? Density is nothing but denoted by rho. Rho is mass upon volume. In equation 1 we will substitute the value of m, and in equation 2 m dash. So m will be equals to rho into v. So mass will be equals to, what is the formula for a sphere? Volume of a sphere, it is 4 by 3 pi r cube into rho. Okay. M dash will be equals to rho into v dash. Similarly, so m dash will be equals to 4 by 3 pi. What is r? R is distance, this is r, total r, and from here r minus d. This will be r minus d cube into rho. Let us substitute the value of m and m dash in equation 1 and 2. So G will be equals to G by R square 4 by 3 pi R cube into rho. Get cancelled. So 4 by 3 G pi R rho. Okay. Now substitute the value of m dash in the second equation. G dash will be equals to G by R square 4 by minus d whole square 4 by 3 pi R minus d whole cube into rho. So you can write down 4 by 3 G pi R minus d into rho. Let this equation be 3 and this equation be 4. Let us take the ratio of these equations. G dash upon G will be equals to, substitute the value, G dash is nothing but 4 by 3 pi, 4 by 3 G pi R minus d into rho divided by 4 by 3 G pi R into rho. This will be equals to R minus d divided by R. Okay. This will be further can be written as d by R. So G dash will be equals to 1 minus d upon R into G. Okay. If the body is moved to center, at the center, so what will be d? D we will measure from the surface. Radius is measured from the center, but d will be measured from the surface. If the body is moved from A to O, d will be nothing but equals to R. At center O, d will be equals to R. So this equation will be changed as G dash equals to 1 minus R upon R into G, which is equals to 0. You can see 1 minus 1 into G, which is equals to 0. So what you understand by this equation? Acceleration due to gravity at the center of the earth is 0. If the acceleration due to gravity at the center of the earth is 0, then what will be the weight of the body? At the center of the center 0, center of the earth. If acceleration due to gravity is 0, then weight of the body at the center of the earth will be equals to 0. So you can see that if the value is changing, value of G is changing, then weight of the body is also changing. At the center it is coming 0, at the surface it is coming something else. Till now we were dealing with two bodies. One we are taking earth and the other body placed on the surface of the earth. Newton's law of gravitation is a universal law for every planet. So for further reference, we will use Kepler's law of planetary motion. How the planet is moving. If the force is between two bodies, then the force is also between the two planets. How the body or a planet moving around the sun, that we will define with Kepler's law of motion, planetary motion. So there are three laws of orbit, how the orbit is formed, whether the orbit is elliptical, it is circular, or what type of orbit we are taking. The second law is area. Area means the area swiped by the planet, the area covered by the planet. And the law of periods. Period means time period. How every planet has its own time period to travel or to revolve around the sun. These three laws we are dealing with Kepler's law of planetary motion. In Kepler's law, the first law is law of orbit. That means every planet in the universe revolves around the sun in an elliptical orbit, with sun as one of its foci. Elliptical, in maths you have read about elliptical, this is the shape. According to the first law, the sun is, as per first law, the sun will be placed one of its foci. That means either this position or this position. This is the semi-major axis and this is the semi-minor axis. Okay? So the planet, every planet sun is the foci, it is placed at one of its foci and the planets are revolving in an elliptical path. This is the first law. Second law is the law of area. Law of area means, suppose let us consider Earth. Earth is moving from position P to Q and from here R to S. If the planet is moving from P to Q, the area swiped by the planet for a particular interval of time from R to S also, if it is same, then the aerial velocity is constant. If the area swiped by the planet is for a particular interval of time is same, then the aerial velocity is constant. This is the second law of Kepler's law of planetary motion. The third law for Kepler's law is for time period. That means the time, what is time period? It is the time taken by the planet to revolve around the sun. So as per the third law, the square of time period of the planet is directly proportional to the cube of the radius of the orbit. Okay. So as per the third law of Kepler's law for planetary motion, the time period of any planet, the square of time period of any planet is directly proportional to the cube of semi-major axis. That means this is a semi-major axis and this is a semi-minor axis. So for two planets, suppose the first planet time period is T1 square, for the second planet T2 square is equal to R1 square upon R1 cube upon R2 cube. From here we can calculate the respective, if we are knowing the remaining three components, we can calculate the fourth one. This is a formula for ratio of time period of two different planets. So these are the important points we are dealing in this chapter. The weight of the body. What is the weight of the body? It is actually the force acting on the body, which is equals to mg. Then we have studied about how the weight is changing due to change in g. If the altitude is increasing, how the weight is changing. If the depth, we are moving towards the earth, how the weight of the body is changing. Next, we have dealt with Kepler's law of planetary motion. These are some important questions basically coming in your exam. Let us discuss some of them. Why weight of the body is 0 at the center of the earth? Students, basically the derivation is not coming in your exam, but the formula related to that is coming. So before understanding the formula, you should know about the derivation. That is why we have explained the derivation in this topic. So you have understand how the weight of the body is changing, why the weight of the body is 0 at the center of the earth, that we have already derived. Why a body has less weight on a hill than on the surface of the earth. This question you can answer. This question is related to variation of g with altitude. If we are moving in the height, g is decreasing. Next, state Kepler's law of gravitation. You can give the three laws: law of orbit, law of area, and law of time period. What is the relation between g and capital G? This we have derived in the last chapter. Define weight of the body. This formula also you can give.